Black Ridge, the trash son-in-law is a god. Chapter 1, The $100 Insult. Caleb Thorne sat at the small kitchen table of the Vance penthouse. He was 26, quiet, and possessed the steady hands of a man who grew up scaling granite cliffs. To the world, he was the trash husband of Elara Vance, the CEO of Vance Global. Elara stood before him, her eyes sharp with a coldness that matched the winter frost. She was 30, elegant, and draped in a tailored Versace power suit. "I am tired of looking at you, Caleb," she said, her voice dropping like a stone in a well. "My grandfather made me marry you to pay a debt of honor to your family. But that debt is paid. I have fed you for 3 years. I have clothed you. You are an anchor dragging me into the mud." Caleb didn't look up from his coffee. He had spent 20 years in the Black Ridge Mountains under a vow of poverty. His mother, Diana Thorne, had told him it was to build his character, to ensure he wasn't destroyed by the weight of the family's gold. "I made the bed, Elara," Caleb said softly. "Don't call my name," she snapped, throwing a crumpled $100 bill at his chest. "Take this and go buy a suit. I have a gala tonight, and I won't have the press seeing you in those rags." She walked out, the click of her heels sounding like a countdown. Caleb picked up the bill and reached for the burner phone hidden in his pocket. It began to vibrate with a message from an encrypted server. "The vow is broken, young master. Your mother has released the seals." Caleb logged into a private banking portal he hadn't touched since he was 6 years old. The balance loaded slowly, $500 million. And a secondary account marked operating expenses, $10 billion. A note from his mother appeared: "Oakhaven is a small pond, Caleb. Try not to drown the fish when you step in." Chapter 2, The BMW Reckoning. Caleb walked into the BMW dealership on the edge of the business district. The floor was polished white marble, reflecting the gleaming rows of luxury sedans. He was still wearing his faded jeans and a t-shirt that had seen better days. A salesman named Victor, 29, was leaning against a desk. He was adjusting his Louis Vuitton belt and laughing with a group of young socialites. When Caleb approached, Victor's laughter died instantly. "The service entrance is in the back, kid," Victor said, not moving a muscle. "We don't need any windows cleaned today." Caleb pointed to a black M7 sitting on the rotating floor. "I'd like to see the interior of that one," he said, his voice level. Victor snorted, looking Caleb up and down. "That car costs $250,000. If you touch the paint, you'll devalue it by $10,000. Caleb pulled out a matte black card from his wallet. It was heavy, bearing no bank logo, only a small, embossed ridge of mountains. He slid it across the marble desk toward the salesman. "Run the card, Victor," Caleb said quietly. "And while you're at it, call the manager. I don't just want the car. I want to know how much it costs to buy this entire franchise." Chapter 3, The Manager's Trembling. The silence in the showroom was absolute. Victor felt the weight of the matte black card in his palm. Bradley Vance, Elara's cousin, broke the silence with a jagged laugh. "Victor, don't tell me you're falling for this. It's probably a skin for a transit card. He's a mountain peasant. He probably found it in a trash can." Caleb didn't look at Bradley. He looked at the store's back office. A man in a sharp gray suit burst out of the office, Mr. Sterling, the regional director. He had been watching the security feed and had seen the card. He didn't walk toward Caleb, he ran. He pushed Bradley aside so hard the younger man stumbled into a rack of brochures. "Young master." Sterling gasped, bowing so low his suit jacket strained. "I am profoundly sorry. This employee is new. He didn't recognize the Ridge Sovereign." Bradley's jaw hung open, his face turning a shade of purple. "Sterling, what are you doing?" Bradley hissed. "That's Caleb Thorne. He's a nobody." Sterling turned on Bradley, his eyes blazing. "This nobody has a line of credit that could buy your family's portfolio by sundown." Caleb took his card back and pointed to the M7. "Deliver it to the Oakhaven Hotel. And tell Victor he can spend his afternoon looking for a new job." Chapter 4, The WeChat Ghost. Elara Vance sat in her office, her head in her hands. The company's bank balance was flashing red, $20 million. If she didn't find the cash by Friday, her cousins would trigger a hostile takeover. Her phone chimed with a friend request from an account with no photo. The name was The Ridge Walker. She accepted it out of sheer curiosity, her fingers shaking. "I hear you're looking for a miracle, Elara," the message read. Elara frowned, typing back, "Who is this? How do you know my financial situation?" "I know because I see the things others miss," the Ridge Walker replied. "I can give you the 20 million. And the names of the board members planning to betray you." Elara felt a chill go down her spine. "What do you want in return?" "Nothing," the ghost replied. "Just keep your eyes open. The person you think is a shadow might be the only one holding the light." Elara looked at the screen, then at the wedding photo on her desk. She looked at Caleb's smiling, simple face in the picture. "It couldn't be him," she whispered. "He's just Caleb." Chapter 5, The Gala Humiliation. The Oakhaven Grand Ballroom was a sea of Louis Vuitton and diamonds. Elara arrived alone, her heart heavy with the weight of her failing empire. The Vance cousins, led by a bandaged Bradley, were already there. "Look at her," Bradley sneered to a group of investors. "The queen of a crumbling empire. And where is that trash husband? Probably at home scrubbing the toilets." Elara ignored them, but her path was blocked by her Aunt Sylvia. "Elara, dear," Sylvia said with a fake smile. "I heard the bank revoked your credit line. Perhaps you should sell that necklace." The crowd laughed. Elara felt a hot sting of shame behind her eyes. Then, the heavy oak doors of the ballroom swung open. A man walked in, wearing a suit so perfectly tailored it made everyone else look like they were in rags. It took Elara 10 seconds to realize she was looking at her husband. "Caleb," she breathed, her glass nearly slipping. Caleb walked straight to her, ignoring the gasps of the elite. He didn't look like a house husband. He looked like an emperor. "You're late, Elara," he said, his voice smooth and deep. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Inside was a blue diamond the size of a bird's egg, the star of Black Ridge. "I believe you dropped this," he said, loud enough for the entire room to hear. Bradley stepped forward, his face contorted. "That's a fake. Security. Throw this imposter out."